Hello everyone, Roger Moss here, President and CEO of LabGold. As you'll remember, having seen some of our virtual conferences, I often refer to our excellent technical team, and you will perhaps have seen some of the other members of the team. Today I'm joined by the brains of the operation, Matt Lapointe, who's our VP Exploration, and has a lot of experience in these orogenic gold systems, most recently with TMAC up at Hope Bay. So Matt, welcome to our little chat here.
Hi, Roger.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask you to show our listeners and our shareholders is our strategy for drilling big vein. We've said that that's what we're doing. I think a lot of them know what we have there at Big Vein and what we're expecting to find, but I do get a lot of questions of how we're going to drill it, and are we going to take a similar kind of strategy to what Newfound Gold has been doing at Keats and Lotto. So maybe you can let us know and show us some of your diagrams about how we're going to plan it.
Absolutely. All right, can you see that there, Roger?
Yeah, that looks good.
All right, so for most of you, you may have seen this in our recent press release. It's a plan map with the geology and some of the soil geochemistry, along with some recent till results. And what you can draw your attention to is the Big Vein area, where we have approximately 350 meters strike length of anomalous soils, as well as rock samples, which are not shown in this map, just to keep it simple. And you'll also note the proximity to the Appleton fault structure to the southeast of the Big Vein anomaly area. The vein itself is hosted in gray and black shales of the turbidite sequences, Ordovician aged, and also some gabbros in the vicinity. We're just going to zoom in here on the Big Vein area with the drill traces shown as the thin black lines and the collars as the white symbols with the black center. And I've highlighted some of the more anomalous rock samples in bold. And you can see that the 1,065 gram sample kind of from the northeast portion of the mapped vein area. Our strategy for drilling this is very similar to other operators in the district, particularly Newfound Gold. Our intention is to drill immediately under the high-grade visible gold showing, and then proceed to continue with tightly spaced drilling. In our current proposal, we have 12.5 meter centers, both to the northeast and to the southwest. And the reason that we're doing this is we don't fully understand the structural controls or any plunge to the system at this point. And so we're going to go about it very cautiously with tightly spaced drilling to try and resolve any plunge controls. You'll also notice that we have some larger step outs. And these step outs are to test the gold and soil anomalies, as well as surface samples that have returned anomalous results. So in summary, it's about 10,000 meters in 43 holes and from 10 drill pads. And the reason we are choosing to do this in 10 drill pads is you can see that there's some different angles coming from a single setup, and this is just to minimize our impact on the environment. This graphic on the left is a plan view of our VLF, and the two graphics on the right-hand side are sections of that same information, VLF information. And what we have done here is we've used the VLF as a proxy for silicification. And so the hotter colors are stronger resistors, and these seem to be aligning or coincident with where we're mapping quartz veining at surface. So using this information and our mapping or surface mapping information, we've come to an interpretation that this is a steeply northwest dipping vein, and targeting it from the northwest, drilling to the southeast is how we're going to approach it. And you can see some of the surface sample results that we hope to intersect with the drilling, and also, the bottom vertical section, we see resistivity anomalies further to the northwest, which we don't have a surface expression for just yet because of the overburden, but we feel that these could be also silicified or vein systems.
Yeah, I think, Matt, if we look at what they've been finding at Lotto and Keats, it seems to me that they have stacked veins there, and we probably shouldn't be surprised if we had a similar situation here.
Absolutely, and as a first pass program, obviously the direct focus is to evaluate the high grade surface showing and the soil anomalies, but also to test outboard of the surface expression where we do not have exposure in outcrop, to see if there are other veins in the area. This is a long section, and what I've done is the black lines are all the drill hole traces, and this is cut on a 50-meter thick section through the orientation of the big vein and where these drill holes should intersect that plane of that modeled plane. And then what we have here in the color are intervals distant to that drill hole intersection. So they range from 10 up to 40-meter distance from the drill hole. And what you can see is the areas that are in red are less than 10 meters. And what this is showing us is our strategy is incorporating a model where it's a gently plunging system and targeting that as best we can with a higher drill density. The visible gold showing is where we will start our drilling, so we'll drill underneath that, and then as I mentioned, we'll step out with tightly spaced drilling on either side, and hopefully this will help us resolve any structural controls as well as identify the plunge in the system. This last graphic here is what I've done is I've taken the same drill density or same proposed drilling with the distance buffers, and I've superimposed it on top of the long section from Newfound Gold, which was released on March 16th. The black diamonds are the pierce points for the holes released or pending from Newfound Gold, and those are pending, and then the colored dots are gram meter intersections. And so likewise to what Newfound Gold has done, we plan on targeting with a high drill density immediately below the visible gold showing, and as we step out with wider space drilling, trying to delineate that plunge direction. So the black dashed line is essentially the plunge that has been identified by Newfound Gold, and they indicate that it's probably 30 to 40 degrees to the south. So we're keeping that in mind as we embark on this drill program.
So Matt, that the way you have that set up there, it looks like from our point of view, you're thinking we may have a similar southwest plunge based on your drill setup.
Yeah, that's correct. But we're not ruling out that it could plunge to the north, and so we've allocated some of the drilling to test that as well.
And part of that rationale, I guess, is that we have a lot more anomalous soil data down to the southwest of the visible gold occurrence, right?
Absolutely. So I don't have the soils on here. I just have the higher grade samples from surface, but we know from the soil data that the area that we hope to test with the drilling extends for approximately 300 meters. So the drilling will test not only the high-grade surface samples, but also the entirety of the soil anomaly, which looks very encouraging. One last thing I can share is, so what we have here is a leapfrog in plan view. This brown feature here striking to the northeast is our interpretation of the Appleton Fault Zone. And the red shape that you see with the black lines is how we have interpreted and modeled Big Vein based on our mapping data and the VLF data. And so our plan, once we begin drilling, is to focus to drill right underneath this red circle here, which is our 1,000 gram visible gold surface sample, and then we will proceed with the step outs and adjust accordingly depending on what we are encountering in the drilling. These other holes will test some of those VLF anomalies that we've noted in the sections, and also some surface anomalism noted in the soil geochemistry.
And so I guess we're looking at 10,000 meters, and we're only using one drill rig initially. So what's the sort of length of program that we expect?
So 10,000 meters, we anticipate a production rate of 30 meters per shift. So that should keep us busy for 4 months, 3 or 4 months easily.
Right. Now with the, I think that any success we have, we will be able to add another rig, at least one, I'm told. So that would help out. And obviously, if we continue having success, we can expand the program as well. So I think that everything will be hinging on the first few holes as to how this program unfolds.
Absolutely, and we're all excited to get those first holes done. So stay tuned.
Yeah, no, that's right. Now, hopefully, we'll see the visible gold in the core, and we won't have to wait for 6 to 8 weeks to get the assays back to know what we got. So yeah, let's hope that we can see something in the core once we start drilling. That's great, Matt. Thanks very much for the insights, and I'm sure everybody would be happy to see that that our drill program is in good hands.
Great, thank you, Roger.
All right, thanks.